So, in the immortal words of Jay-Z, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the law of sines. Okay? So, we are on the cream-colored sheet today. We are going to be developing or reintroducing you to the law of sines. You saw it first in geometry, back when you were trees. And now we're going to see it again. We are going to reintroduce it to you today. And then on Tuesday, we're going to blow your minds with it. Okay? Because we're going to say that you can form two triangles under certain conditions. Which is true. You can, under certain conditions. And we're going to be doing what's called solving the triangles. Now, we'll get in more into that as we go along with this today. Okay? So, here we go. So, based off of our old pals SOHCAHTOA and Pythagoras, we can find the area of a triangle. So, if I were to say here that this is side A, or excuse me, angle A, then this would be side A. If I were to say that this is side or angle B, then this would be side B. Angle C, side C. Okay? And it doesn't matter what combination we are in because it does the orientation of the triangle will change. That's why all three of these are the same. Okay? They all give me the area of that triangle. Well, the area of a triangle, remember, is 1/2 base times height. Okay? So in this particular case, it would be 1/2, and then B is B. That's kind of why I did it that way. That's 50 years of knowledge right there. Okay? And then we just got to figure out this height. Well, in terms of the height, we know that if I'm going here, that this angle, the height, so this would be the sine of angle A, would be the opposite side H over the hypotenuse C. So I can replace, or I can multiply both sides by C there, and get C sine of A equals H. So if I plug that back into there, then I got A equals 1/2 times B, because B was my base, times C times the sine of angle A. Okay? That's how we develop those. And we can adjust those letters however we need it to be, instead of in your brain rotating around the triangle and switching that height to each different side. And you can just rotate your letters as opposed to rotating the triangle. So you get these three. Well, with those three, then what I can do is, because they all represent the same triangle, that means then that I can put them all together. So 1/2 AB sine C would equal 1/2 BC sine A would equal 1/2 AC. I don't know why I did a capital letter on sine for that one. AC sine B. Okay? Now what we can do with that is now we can multiply that. Let's make this look a little nice and prettier. Let's multiply everything by 2. So I'm going to multiply that by 2, I'm going to multiply that by 2, and I'm going to multiply that by 2. If I do that, what happens to the 1/2? It gone. Okay? So then that leaves me with excuse me, AB, oops, AB sine of C equals BC sine of A equals AC sine of B. With me so far? Okay? Now, if I divide here by A, B, C, by A times B times C, then I would divide here by A times B times C, then divide here by A times B times C. What's left over in that first? Sine C over C. What's left in the second one? Or the middle one, I should say. Sine of A over A. What's left in the third one? Sine of B over B. Those of you that didn't see it, A canceled out A, B canceled out B. B canceled out B, C canceled out C, A canceled out A, C canceled out C. And that now, oops, I guess I had that here too, but we already did that. That now gives me the law of sines. This is the law of sines. We will not, repeat, not give this to you on a formula identities sheet. You can put it on your own if you so choose, but we will give you blank identity sheets each time. You need to memorize this. And it's not that hard to memorize because it's just an angle, the sine of an angle, divided by its opposite side. And it's equal. That proportion is equal for all three angles and all three sides. Okay? So this one is the easy one to remember. Later on next week, when we get into law of the cosines, that one gets a little more complicated. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications on reintroducing ourselves to the law of the sines. Yes, James?
This is related to area of the triangle, right? Or is it
That area, we use the area of the triangle just to prove the law of sines, if you will.
What do we use the law of sines?
We're going to be solving triangles. You'll see in about 4 seconds. Okay? Because you're going to flip your paper over, and I'm going to say, okay, we want to solve this triangle. Now, what does it mean to solve the triangle? What does that mean? Find all the angles and find all the side lengths. So how many answers are in a solve the triangle problem? 6. Here's the nice thing. Here's where we are nice to you, and only you, Rachel, not your table mates.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to give you 3 of those answers. Minimum.
Okay.
Okay? Okay? You guys get nothing in Lincoln. I kid because I care. Yeah, I get it. Okay? All right? So, does it help to draw yourself a picture? Yeah. Does your picture have to be beautiful? No. It's got to be a triangle. It doesn't even have to be a good triangle. Okay? But you've got to get in there and you got to label that triangle. And I really don't care how you label it. If you choose to go ABC like that, if you choose to go ACB, if you choose to go BCA, whatever. Okay? I don't care which way you go with your triangle, but you got to label it. Here are the 3 answers that I'm giving you. So I am telling you that angle A is 48 degrees. I'm telling you that angle C is 62 degrees. And I'm telling you that side A is 16. So I gave you those pieces of information. Now, knowing what you also know about triangles, in that the sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So that means that angle B here, what we're looking for, is going to be 180 minus the other two angles. So 180 minus 48 is 132. Minus 62 is 70. Yes? 70? Okay. So now you can set up the law of sines where you can say the sine of 48 degrees divided by 16, because that's the opposite side, is equal to the sine of 70 degrees divided by side B is equal to the sine of 62 degrees divided by sine C. And you're going to take these and you're going to break them out into two separate problems. So your first problem that you're going to solve is you are going to solve sine of 48 degrees divided by 16 is equal to the sine of 70 degrees divided by B. Cross multiplication tells me that that's going to be B sine of 48 degrees equals 16 times the sine of 70 degrees. Still solving for B tells me I need to divide by the sine of 48 degrees. Now, I will tell you, depending upon the style of calculator that you use, okay, most of you have the TI-30XS calculators. Okay? And that's fine. It's a great calculator. It's all you need for this entire class. The downfall with that calculator is, and let me see if it shows up on, it doesn't because my trial is over with. When you push sine on that calculator, it will show you like this. It'll open up a set of parentheses for you. Okay? The kicker is here after that, so that would, like when you're going to type it in, it's going to open up a set of parentheses right there. Before you hit divide by the sine of 48, you have got to close that particular set of parentheses. Or your alternative is you could do 16 times the sine of 70, hit equals, then divided by the sine of 48, and hit equals again. Okay? But if you're trying to do it all in one shot, you got to close that set of parentheses. Okay? So 16 sines of 70, make sure I'm in degrees, sines of 70, close parentheses, divided by the sine of 48. I get here 20.23169834. If we don't tell you, we expect you to round to 3 decimal places. So I would say over here on the side then, side B is going to be 20.232. Now, you've got to do a second set just like that with sine of 48 and 16 and sine of 62 and C. I would not go back to this because unless you leave it on your calculator as exact, you round it, now you're going to be off by rounding. And Mr. Schmeling and I just had the conversation about an hour ago saying that if you're off by a couple of decimal places, that's not good enough in our world. Okay? You need to learn how to use second answer on all calculators that's got the second answer key on there. You need to learn how to use that. Okay? So then this would be the sine of 48 degrees divided by 16 equals the sine of 62 degrees divided by C. Now, the math is all going to be the same. So C here is going to equal 16 times the sine of 62 all over the sine of 48. The only thing that changes is that angle right there. Because the other one's 16, still is 16. It's 48 degrees, still is 48 degrees. Here I get C is 19.00997087. So I would say here that C is 19.010. And angle B was 70 degrees. And angle A was 48 degrees. And angle C was 62 degrees. And side A was 16. Because then all 6 of your answers are next to one another. Even the 3 that I gave you. Okay? I would like you to now do number 2 with the knowledge that if your answer is in degrees, minutes, and seconds, or excuse me, if what is given to you is in degrees, minutes, and seconds, or if it's in radians, we expect your answers that you're finding are also in that same format. Okay? Go for it. Right? 180 minus 24 minus 61 gets me 95. Minus 10 minutes would be 94 minutes, or 94 degrees, 50 minutes. Minus 20 more minutes would be 94 degrees, 30 minutes. Yes. Huh? Also know that side B is 4. So then we're going to have the sine of 94 degrees, 30 minutes, all over side A is going to equal the sine of 24 degrees, 10 minutes, all over 4. 24 sine of 94 degrees 30 minutes divided by the sine of 24 degrees 10 minutes. I get here that side A is 9.740459.685, so that would be 9.740. Okay. Then I gotta find then I got the sine of 61 degrees 20 minutes divided by side C is the sine of 24 degrees 10 minutes divided by 4. So C here is going to be 4 sines of 61 degrees 20 minutes divided by 10 minutes. I do love being able to just retype in what you do. So then we got 61 there, and we've got 20 there, and I get here that that is 8.572954272, which gives me 8.573. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications? Okay. Minutes divided by 60? Yeah. Yeah. So it's 24 degrees 10 minutes is 24 plus 10 divided by 60. Okay? And if it was seconds, then it would be plus whatever the seconds is divided by 3,600. So then you go 0.5 times 60. Yep. To go backwards, yes, and then it would be 0.5 times 60. And then if that still has a decimal at it, then you drop off the whole number part of it, and you multiply that by 60 again to get the seconds. Okay. Let's do this one together. So we've got angle A, angle B, and angle C. Side A is 17. Angle A is 32 degrees. Side B is 11. Agree with that? Yep. Okay. All right. So now I can use the law of sines, provided that I have a complete fraction, meaning I've got an angle and its opposite side, which in this case, I do. First angle that I would find then would be angle B. Oops. Yep. Sorry. Stop yelling at me. I'm an old man. I'm prone to make mistakes now. Okay? Still cross multiplying it like normal. Still dividing it by 17. Still taking the inverse sign. So to find an angle, remember we have to take the inverse sine. So that's going to be truthfully, I would just find 11 times the sine of 32 degrees, then divide that by 17, giving me 0.342888936, and then take the inverse sine of that, and that's going to give me 20.0529871 degrees. So angle angle B here is going to be 20.053. I almost put 053 degrees. With me? But leave it on your calculator, because we're going to have to use that right now. So we're going to leave it on our calculator, because when we find angle C, that's going to be 180 degrees minus 32 degrees minus angle B. So all I have to do is 180 minus 32 minus my answer, and I get here 127.9470183. So angle C here is 127.947 degrees. Leaving that on my calculator now, because now I've got to do a law of sines again. Sine of 32 degrees all over 17 is equal to the sine of angle C all over side C. So side C is what I'm looking for, times the sine of 32 degrees equals 17. Sines of big angle C So right now on my calculator, I've got that 127 degree angle. I'm going to take the sine of that one. So that's my sine C. Then I'm going to multiply that by 17. Then I'm going to divide that by the sine of 32 degrees. And I get 25.2979202.3, which gives me side C here is 25.298.